The best part about mountain bikes is that they are super versatile. You can ride them just about anywhere on all kinds of different terrain, and they float over it effortlessly. But what if you took that versatility one step further? My name is Aaron, I'm the host of Super Rider, and this is my Marin Alpine Trail 1, easily the most versatile mountain bike in my entire arsenal. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why. This bike has been a trusty steed for the gnarliest trails and jumps that I've ridden over the past year, but it's also the bike that I used last summer to teach my son how to ride mountain bikes. Marin offers a handful of different options for the Alpine Trail, but they all come with the same options for versatility that we're going to talk about today. What I mean about taking the bike's versatility a step further is that you can completely dial in this bike to match the specific type of riding you want to do. By adjusting a few settings on the bike, you can modify how it rides on the trail. For example, the majority of trails that I ride on a weekly basis are technical, steep, rocky, and rooty trails. I love riding tricky sections of trail, and to be honest, while I also love hitting jumps on a bike park, there's not a whole lot of that where I live. By making a few adjustments on this bike, I can raise the bottom bracket to make this bike perform even better on the trails that I ride the most. But maybe your riding style is the complete opposite of mine. Maybe you want to ride super fast and flowy jumps on bike park trails. This same bike will absolutely work in that setting by changing the bottom bracket and the headset settings. You can drop the bottom bracket position and slack out the head tube to totally dial in your bike for the terrain that you're riding the most. So here's how it works. This piece right here is called a flip chip, and depending on its orientation in the bike, it can completely change the shape of the rear triangle of the bike, bringing the bottom bracket either higher or lower. Changing your bottom bracket height will completely change the feel of the bike and give you more stability or maneuverability depending on how you have it set up. To adjust your flip chip, you just take an Allen wrench and undo the bolt here, then you flip this piece of metal in the direction you want it to go. If you put high on top, that brings your bottom bracket up and shortens your chainstay. If you put low there, it brings your bottom bracket down and lengthens your chainstay. Make sure you do it on both sides of the bike, that way everything lines up perfect. The other cool thing about the flip chip options in this bike is that you can also adjust the bike to accommodate multiple wheel sizes. So if you want to run a 29er setup, you adjust the top chip to 29. And if you want to run a mullet setup, which is a 29 in the front and a 27.5 in the back, you can flip it to 27.5. I personally run my bike with the mullet setup and I absolutely love it. In addition to the flip chip, there's also another way that you can quickly and easily modify this bike to adapt to the trails that you're riding, and that's by changing the head tube angle. By swapping out the top of the headset, you can slacken the angles for your headset and fork, which will also affect the feel of the bike, especially at high speed. You can go from the standard 63-degree head tube angle with the existing headset to 3/4 of a degree slacker with the headset option. But why would you want to adjust the headset? Typically, if you're riding fast, steep trails or hitting big bike park style jumps on the bike, you'll want a slightly slacker head angle on the bike, which increases stability at higher speeds. If you're riding more technical trails or less steep but fast trails, a steeper head angle is probably the right fit for you. So let's talk about the 4 most common setups that you could have with this bike. Number 1, if you're riding technical sections of trail that aren't too steep, I would suggest running a high bottom bracket with the original headset setting. This gives you maximum maneuverability even at slow speeds. The higher bottom bracket also gives you a little extra clearance from those roots and rocks too. This is how I usually have my bike set up for my own trail riding. Number 2, if you adjust the flip chip to the low bottom bracket setting and leave the headset where it's at, you'll be in a good spot for fast, not too steep trails. This will lengthen the chainstay length just enough to add some stability for higher speed, flowy trails. Number 3, we can leave the bottom bracket in the low position and then swap the headset option to slacken the head tube angle on the bike. A slacker head tube angle is going to add even more stability at speed, perfect for blazing fast, steep downhill trails. Number 4, lastly, we can adjust the flip chip to the high setting, which raises the bottom bracket. This would be an ideal setup if you're doing a lot of bike park laps and hitting jumps. Regardless of the trail you're riding, this bike is made for fun, and all 4 of these setups will make for a great time on 2 wheels. Just a reminder that while I'm showing you the Alpine Trail 1, this same setup comes with all the bikes in the Alpine Trail range. Check out the Marin website if you want to get more information about each bike, and we'll see you out there on the trails.